Now for global business updates, Rotus Oddiri, fresh. They arrived from Port Harcourt.
I'm not fresh at all.
Fatigued. You are looking fresh.
Trust me, the look is we're TV people. We pretend a lot, so I'm very.
Speak for yourself.
I'm not fresh. Good morning, Dr. Fati. Morning, Ayo. Morning, Rufai.
Rotus, well done on yesterday's media chat. You were saying something around, despite the headlines focused, and I talked about the domination of the talk around his politics, but that he had the opportunity to speak about
infrastructure. Yes. We'll definitely get to that in the Nigeria section.
But give details, Rotus.
I will. Asia markets gallery. Can we So trade. We had. Did you see silver yesterday? Silver dropped by about 10%. I think it was profit taking. But anyway, your Asia markets mostly mixed. So you've got the Nikkei here and the ASX 200 in Australia. They're down. Your Hang Seng and is up. Nikkei is down. Funny enough, the Shanghai Composite Index was flipping back and forth. That's down. Your Kospi, which I think I'm going to look at the best performing indexes, I think, tomorrow around the world. But I think it's going to be the Kospi. So mixed trading in Asia today. Meanwhile, some deals, we continue to see deals being announced. SoftBank has announced that it's going to purchase a company called DigitalBridge. They're an investment company that puts money into artificial intelligence infrastructure, so mostly data centers. So $4 billion, $16 a share in cash, and the deal is supposed to close by the second half of 2026. DigitalBridge, I think they're on the NASDAQ, the New York Stock Exchange. They were up about 9 or 10% in trading yesterday. Masayoshi Son said this acquisition will strengthen the foundation for next generation AI data centers and advance SoftBank's vision to become a leading artificial superintelligence platform provider. Don't forget, SoftBank sold off on their Nvidia shares earlier this year. So people are wondering if they're using that money. They got about $6 billion from there, whether that's what they're using for making some of these purchases. Also, the CEO of DigitalBridge, that's Mark Ganzi, says the build-out of AI infrastructure represents one of the most significant investment opportunities of our generation. More news in the AI space. Meta, Mark Zuckerberg is still spending a lot of money. So they're acquiring this company called Manus. Manus is a Chinese company that also has its own AI chatbot, like, OpenAI, Perplexity, and all the others. They moved to Singapore, and they say that their AI bots is basically very good at coding, very good at doing mathematical equations, and so on and so forth. The money isn't, according to the Wall Street Journal, it's a $2 billion deal. So, they've really spent a lot of money this year trying to build out, basically poaching talent to build that. I don't know how many people. Meta AI is on WhatsApp. Not sure how many people actually use it. I really don't. I don't think it's as strong as the other ones. We recreated this using Gemini. The unfortunate crash involving the Anthony Joshua's accident where he lost a couple of friends. So, the road safety folks were talking about essentially how there was suggested speeding and them trying to overtake a car and then running into that truck on the side of the road. And you three of you have extensively talked about why there was one on the side of the road. But, there's been a lot of talk, at least in the tech circles, about, autonomous driving, right? And I know Dr. Bati was saying, look, is this something that is practical here in Nigeria? Right, fine, I know. But for the future, just going forward, the whole case, and it came up again, right, on social media, about how, autonomous driving is supposed to reduce human error. So something like Waymo uses what's called LiDAR. You've got Tesla's robo-taxis that use, cameras that are supposed to, tell you whether there's a stationary vehicle, let you know when a car is overtaking. In fact, some of the vehicles we've rented when we've gone on assignments for our Rise News overseas, some of the cars that are not autonomous, they will vibrate on the left if a car is coming to you by left. If a human being is there, they'll vibrate on the right side of your seat. There are all these, and they will even prevent you from going into another lane if another vehicle is there. So the whole argument is whether or not, or rather that autonomous cars are supposed to be safer. So the whole impulse to speed, the missing it, what is obstacles in vehicles, that was resurrected with this whole tragic incident involving Joshua. But then I bring this up as don't forget the blackouts. We talked about this, the blackout that happened in San Francisco, where Waymo autonomous cars just shut down because the lack of electricity impacted internet connectivity, and the cars were stranded. So these are the things to keep the balance there we have to weigh with the what's autonomous cars. And don't forget, this was the viral video that we talked about in Austin, Texas, where no human being was in this Tesla vehicle and it was just driving itself. So that's all in there. All right, coming to Nigeria. Yes. So as Ayo mentioned, and a little behind the scenes on something else with Larry Olayinka and the crawling. Well, let me get to the infrastructure first. So we had about 2 or 3 weeks ago, the Director General of the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council, and they've released their 2025 ranking of the states, the subnationals, in terms of ease of doing business. Also, they ranked the ministries, departments, and agencies. And FCT came in the top 5. So it was Lagos, Kaduna, Oyo, shout out to Makinde, FCT, and Ogun State. Now, he did, as Ayo pointed out, he did spend a lot of time on politics and everything that's going on, but there was a in-depth discussion on infrastructure in the FCT. He had a big, a back and forth with one of the journalists there on healthcare, but he kept emphasizing that everything starts with infrastructure, from roads, access roads, and so on. And I even ran into an entrepreneur who started a business in Abuja, who's lived there for about a year, and I said it to him that while she commends the physical infrastructure in the state, it's in security and safety. She said she doesn't feel safe, going out late, and he brought that up, saying that, look, it's going to be a gradual thing to improve safety there. Now, on the crawling, just to give you guys a little bit on the crawling of Larry Olayinka. So it was very hot. I don't know if you noticed, this is a canopy. There was a canopy that was blocking the sun from him. I was lucky. There was a tree blocking me, so I wasn't as hot as my other colleagues. While he was talking, he called for a drink because he said he needed to get a drink. It was really hot. So against the wishes of the camera people that were there, Larry Olayinka rushes with a Coke and then starts crawling, thinking he is avoiding. Thank God we have a lot of space here so I can crouch. Thinking he's avoiding the cameras. They were telling him, wait, stop. But he ended up getting in the shots and pouring a drink for him. Let's get to the NNPC. Is the NNPC preparing an IPO? Is that the signs might be there, right? So we had, of course, the front page of today's This Day newspaper, Nigeria's newspaper record, with the Reuters report. The NNPC is set to sell selected assets. It is shedding weight. Before then, we had the report, of course, on the federal government approved by President Tinubu writing off legacy debts up until December of 2024. So dollar side, 1.4 billion in legacy debt that is owed to the Federation account, of course, that should have been remitted. And then you've got 5.57 in naira, 5.5 trillion naira. So about approximately 96% of legacy USD debt, approximately 88%. So these are the actions that, I'm just speculating here, that usually take place before investors want to look at your books, make sure your debt is down, seeing whether you're getting rid of assets you don't need. We'll have to see what happens, but that's our updates for today.
We're told that there's no time for discussion, but very interesting topics you have brought, and particularly this NNPC debt write-off. Who is the accounting body that advised on that? Which board said that is the intelligent thing to do? Now, who is now going to ask questions about the people who were responsible for that debt? Now, Julari has been given a carte blanche to acquire more debts. Now, the money that is missing, 5.7 trillion naira, where did that money go to? Who benefited from it? And did they do so legitimately? But you were told there's no time
we'll get into it
to
tomorrow.
interrogate this issue.
Tomorrow
we need to talk about this issue.
Tomorrow, we'll do it tomorrow. We'll get into it tomorrow.
Well, if you give us enough time, because there are questions to be asked.
We'll jump
citizens' interests, the most important office in Nigeria.
That's facts.